investigation, started trying to get statements from people. Both my sisters went ahead and gave their statements.
Yeah.
I still had nothing to do with it. No statement, no nothing. When I realized, okay, they're about to go to court. You know, and I went through the same thing. I'm my mother's only son. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the man of the family. You know what I'm saying? My sisters were going to stand up for themselves, and I'm, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, well, and then that's when I gave my statement, and that's when I decided that, you know, that I was going to go ahead and do it. Nobody wants to see they family go get locked away. So I really understand how hard it is for people that's deeply involved in it also. And people got to understand, I was born and raised in it too. So I understand from inside out also what it feels like not to have this person around still giving leadership. You know, so it's not no stranger, no random person that's saying, oh, this happened. I mean, this stuff, like, I was 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? I was upstate New York after Brooklyn. You know, I was upstate New York when he first, you know, touched me or whatever, you know. And so from 7 to 14, 7 years that I went through this. You know what I'm saying? And that's my story.
Would you say there's been over 20 children molested by Dr. York?
I would say so. I mean, I would say that it was, you know, if I could confirm people that I could strongly confirm, it would be about 15 or 20 people.
Obviously, if over 15 to 20 children were being molested, we have to now say, how come the adults wasn't saying nothing? Shouldn't.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
And that's for that forehead and that hairline. Sorry, guys, but let's continue.
The adults were separated from their children. You know, so you had the girls in one house, the boys in one house, the women in one place, the brothers in one place. You know, everybody was separated, so it wasn't no house with a family, and then you could recognize.
I thought you were a new covenant member.
You mean to tell the world that none of these children had enough sense in their mind to go tell their parent that this isn't right. I've been touched sexually, I've been sexually abused. Not one child out of all these children. It could have stopped so long ago if just one child or just one adult. What caused all of this to come out? First, you hear nothing from nobody.
Yeah,
you hear nothing from nobody. Then you hear something from everybody, all at the same time.
They might not have been the medium to talk to anybody about the situation.
Not even their parents.
I mean, that's why, of course. I could have I could have told my mother.
But you chose not to.
It's not that I chose not to. To really explain it.
Brother, I know how you feel right now, except for, well, let me clear that I've never been molested, so I don't claim to know how you feel. But I know how you feel right now because you feel like you came to do an honest interview and you're being attacked, and you are being attacked.
It would really take a lot, but I mean, you're not really yourself when you're not, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got no esteem, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got no, you know what I'm saying, you can't even face, like, my mother she found out from my sister, and she came to me and asked me about it, and I still really couldn't even tell her. I had to say, well, I had sex with the girl, and he was there, and that was my way of telling her that, yeah, it happened, you know what I'm saying, but that's what the initial conversation, and this is like 2 weeks before we left. It was something I was under. I couldn't tell my mom. I didn't tell nobody. It was something that held me to not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
nobody knows what Dr. York actually told these children. And we all have to pay attention to that. No one knows what Dr. York told them, and I haven't heard him yet ask.
Because I looked up to him as my dad, because I looked up to him as a person that he was. I thought he was a God figure. I thought he, you know, and all those reasons, like, you know, I'm trying to like see why is this going on? What's the significance? I'm young. I don't even know what really in the sex, and I don't.
Why do you think he's locked up for 135 years, underground 60 feet, in a super max penitentiary with no one with a case likened to his own, amongst cannibals? Not because what you think he should be locked up for, why you think he's locked up.
Well, I mean, to answer your question in the way that I think you're asking it, you know what I'm saying? Because one, you have a black leader that was getting black people together and was building a sovereign nation.
Tell me if this is something you believe. That's not what I want to hear.
Yo, G. He was trying to get shit together, but he had an issue, which is he liked to fuck little kids. And that's an issue. And it seems to be the same issue with most of these leaders and these churches and cults and shit like that. It's the same thing. So maybe that being a leader and not being vetted for your pedophilia by the adults is their responsibility on all of us. But to sit here and try to berate somebody for saying something, and I seen the joint before, long time ago, where witnesses said that the FBI was paying them to say shit about Dr. York. Then I seen people like this dude and others who, a couple sisters, who was like, nah, I ain't nobody pay me nothing to say nothing. Malachi York molested me.
What do you personally believe, dealing with the facts of the matter? Not denying you of your experience, but based on what we all know, what is necessary to lock a person up when you accuse them of these type of things.
What I know from history is that whenever you have a black leader that's uplifting the people, that's doing something for the community, that's bringing people together, and that's building people and elevating people, then they get taken down. You know what I'm saying? And he wouldn't have been taken down, and he hasn't been taken down until they found something that to take him down with. If he threw everything away by molesting kids, did he really care about everybody else? This is what I have to live with. I have to live with how do I come across the people that's in the knowledge and.
Good job, young man. What you caught Polite doing was what he learned from his master's 101. Always blame the victim. Always turn it on the victim. Well, he was a powerful man. Do you feel you should be helping white people bring... Don't try to play that bullshit. He should have felt that he shouldn't have wanted to do anything that would jeopardize what was the fuck going on. And he felt like fucking little kids was
and even vibe with them and talk to them on a regular level, and people looking at me one way.
Nah, that's all good. You can always come to a class of ours.
That's cool, but you know what I'm saying? But see, the thing is that
it don't make you a bad person.
At the end of the day,
he'll charge you. Does that look like a young
have his word
phenom to you guys? Or does that look like a 40?
At the end of the day, he's locked up, so obviously they took y'all word over everyone else's. It doesn't matter. Like I told you, if we say he's innocent, when he's still locked up in prison, y'all word accounted for everything.
Well, I can't go back. You know what I'm saying? I can only face what's in front of me. And everything that's in front of me, I see people that's being misled. I see people that's under the impression, and even though
misled by what? Because people are saying Doc is being railroaded.
Okay, I can't take no more of this shit. What's up, YouTube? I'm gonna finish this out here in the car. I couldn't watch any more of that shit because one, my kids in there. It's spring break over here. I don't know where you guys are. But they're in there messing around, playing around, and this dude done knocked my daughter's tooth out with his head. They jumping around, playing. So anyways, I wanted to finish this video out, though, because the whole time the brother's talking, and I'm big on that, man, like, why all of a sudden everyone coming out? But it was the same thing with the Sandusky thing. Like when people started coming out at the same time because they felt courage from other people to come out. The Penn State coach thing. So it's like, I don't do all that victim questioning shit, man. Like if you got molested, you got molested. If your sister said they got molested, so the whole family decided to put together a molestation thing. Ain't nobody getting no money from that. What money is he getting from saying he was molested by Malachi York? That nigga ain't got no money, and he ain't getting no money for that shit. Like, if the dude started a community, that was beautiful. I think the idea of what he did as far as starting a community, that was excellent. That's what everybody should be aspiring to. But at the same time, G, like, you're not going to sit here and tell me that this guy is above reproach. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I come in. Like, yo, I don't think you're above reproach. And I don't think that nobody's making, and all these people are making up these same things about you. You the common denominator in the same story. Though it seems suspicious on the note, in the point of every time you turn around and it's something to do with the government and you checking them, somebody's always a pedophile, always a pedophile. But then you start looking around, man, at these leaders in churches and shit. A lot of them really are pedophiles. Like, they end up being that. So it's hard to say, man, but at the same time, Polite, you ain't in no position to be checking nobody. Y'all see how this nigga was checking them and shit? Like, yeah, well, you don't know this, and nigga, we know that motherfuckers just ordered some shit from you just this month, nigga, or some shit like that, or just January and still ain't got their shit back, nigga. We know that about you. You questioning somebody for it. And then you always flip-flopping on that Dr. York shit. One moment you for Dr. York, one moment you not for Dr. York. One moment you want to wait till the evidence come out, and the next moment you want to wait till there's some more evidence coming out. Like, yo, you say anything at any given time, yo. But I'm not finished with this video. This is just part one. We had to cut it real quick because I had a little family emergency. But when I come back, we'll finish part two.